Hi, I'm Francis Hellier and welcome to my podcast Metaverse. Dedicated to the emerging world of the metaverse, this podcast aims to demystify and unpack the possibilities of the digital future just dawning over the horizon. In each episode, I talk to leaders in this growing space who are forging this new reality. From innovators in AR and VR, to futurists in crypto and space travel, and forecasters in business and tech. Together we'll ask the question, what's next? Today I'm joined by Richard Cambridge, co-founder and CTO of WeAudition. Based in Hollywood, WeAudition is a video chat community that enables actors, coaches, agents, casting directors and more to connect with each other around the globe. He built his career working in the TV and film industries, in front of the camera, appearing in dramas such as Hollyoaks and the IT Crowd, and behind the camera, winning multiple awards for his work. Richard worked extensively in medical VR video in his early days and was a pioneer with a 360 short film, New Reality, in 2015. He is passionate about the intersection of entertainment and technology and has a keen interest in the development of online communities and platforms. Richard, it's a pleasure.
Hi, Francis. Thank you. I didn't realize you were going to talk all about me. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Just the 10 quids in the post, right?
Pay later. Thanks. It's all true.
So your career has taken a fascinating path, acting in shows like the IT Crowd, and then using IT for entertainment business applications. Were you always interested in the technology side of showbiz?
I have always been interested in that technology side of entertainment. I started off being an actor and doing acting when I was at school. And very early on, I got very interested in the technicalities of making a film and bringing people together with emotions on the screen and crafting that through technology. And I didn't know, when I was sort of at school, we didn't have computers back then as we did now. So I didn't know, in careers where I'd end up. But the wonderful world of technology has really shaped the way I've been working throughout the last however many years. So yeah, and the metaverse I see as the next phase in the evolution of technology. So hopefully that's something I can contribute to and be part of.
Absolutely, I hope you do. Now, in a few short years, WeAudition has become an invaluable technology tool for actors in particular. Can you tell us about the founding journey?
Absolutely. And it started off really as a need, as all good things do, a way to scratch that itch, really. So I can kind of plug in really a little bit to how things have changed for actors. And the pandemic has been part of that. The way that things used to be cast for movies and television and theatre previous to that and still today is an audition. We all know roughly what that is. You turn up and then you read a part or you pretend and then you go away and they choose the person that they like. So in recent years, that has really changed. And we do a thing called a self-tape now. You may know about that. Lots of the listeners may know about that. But that is essentially recording the part that you are going for in the movie. And then you have your friend or your neighbor or your mom read the other role. With the evolution of the internet, it became possible to do that over the internet. So about 5-6 years ago, three of us founded a small community of people helping each other to do that. And essentially that's because of the bad traffic in LA. So basically an easier way, what you do normally is get your friend over, and it's always better to do it with an actor. So then you do these self-tapes, and now they are standard. When actors audition for films and movies and theatre as well, sometimes the first instance is they're asked to send a self-tape of their performance. So you go away, you do the work, you learn the lines, and then you perform it to your own cell phone or, you record it on a camcorder. You send that off. That's the first step. And that's really technology being embraced by the industry, because then people can see on screen, do you work on screen? Is the performance being right? Is the right choices being made? And just bringing it around a little bit to the metaverse and what I perceive that to be, we started off making a community, and it wasn't something that we originally intended. It was supposed to just be a few friends helping each other, and then it's got bigger and bigger. But the human interaction is really key to why it's been a success. And it's something we didn't know. People make friends, they help each other. And I see that as the future of the internet, where we're able to transfer our consciousness and become a community online. And I think that's been our success, community. And I'm really proud of that. And it continues to astound me every day when I hear the things that hear back from our people in the community, our members.
Now, can you explain a bit about how the platform actually works?
Say I'm sent a audition, I'm an actor. It's primarily for actors. There are two sides to it, so I'll talk through them as quickly as I can. The main part is if I have an audition, so I am an actor, and I get sent my side, so I get my script. I'm like, right, okay, yeah, I've read it. I've learned it. I might want to rehearse it with someone. We have a marketplace of people that are available on demand. We say it's like Uber for actors. We have people online all day, every day, 24/7 now, because the community is so large. And you can look at their profiles. You can cast them, essentially. You can go through and find somebody that would be suitable to read for. Maybe it might be, an age thing, or maybe experience in the genre that you're going for. And then you hire them. People set their own fees, so they earn money. Some people do it as their job, as their day job. And then they would be transferred the script securely online. They don't need to have a copy. They just look at it on the screen, and then they read the other lines and you rehearse. You would then record that, so either with your phone or through our system. And then that would be your audition tape that we call it a tape. It's a file that you would send off to the casting person or the producer or the director or whoever was interested in you for that role. And that is absolutely ubiquitous throughout the industry. That is the standard for auditioning now. And we're really proud to be part of that flow. So that's one part. And the other system is that we do auditions online as well. People hold virtual meetings like we're recording this on Zoom now. It's a video chat system like Zoom. So it's its own system as well, where people can do auditions and record the actor rather than recording everybody. It's a sort of video chat system with two halves.
Sounds great. Now, a little birdie told me that you're at the Cannes Film Festival with the WeAudition team and that you're showcasing the product to the global film industry. What are your plans there?
We've had such an amazing time. So we've been intending to come back to Cannes for the last couple of years, but because of things, we haven't been able to. So we've really hit it hard. So here in Cannes, we've got a large house where we're holding events where people can come and enjoy the space. We've got some specially invited guests.
So you must be doing well if you've got a big house in Cannes.
Well, it's not the most frugal time of year to be visiting, but we've got some guests that have really been championing our system and been really part of the community. So we've said thank you to them and bringing them along, like Jimmy Akimbola, who's been a big champion. He was the first person to do auditions for his monologue slam on the system. He's here. And so we've grown so much throughout the last couple of years. The last time we were here, we had a really nice event. We had two events, one on the Croisette, one of the beaches. We had a panel and party. So we're going to be doing this year the Future of Casting panel, which is what we call it, which is, we have 3 casting directors, which we're going to announce shortly, talking about how technology has changed casting and also how social media is influencing some things as well, and actors' profiles. And our audience for that is primarily producers, directors, and actors. So it's very much the film space. So it's a real pleasure to be doing that during the festival. So we're going to do that again. And then we had a party last time. We're going to have a party this time as well.
Sounds utterly dreadful. Now, I'm also going to be in Cannes. An exclusive here is I'm launching my short film, Tech to the Future, which I'm sure listeners will hear more about in the coming episodes. How important a marketplace is the Cannes Festival, not just for films, but also film-related tech?
It is. It's not South by Southwest. It's a very film-focused festival, but it is the most glamorous. It's the most elegant. It's one of the most prestigious film festivals in the world. And because of that, it draws the best people. And also that, that does bring tech. I actually remember very, very fondly, a long time ago, I actually went to the festival with the casting director of The Witcher, who is a very good friend of mine and has recently cast some of the roles using WeAudition, which is an absolute pleasure. We came to the festival and they had these booths of that you could use your phone to print photos. And this is so strange. And we didn't have camera phones at that time, but very few people did, and they could take very low resolution photos. And that's now like a standard across. So a lot of technology companies do use it as a platform to sort of bolt into a new audience or to add a bit of glamour, add a bit of sparkle to their tech. But we're very much a film platform. We're a television, film, casting platform and a community. So it fits very well with us. And a lot of top people from the world. Also, a lot of people from the USA come to Europe. So it's a nice opportunity for actors in the UK to be able to connect with those producers and those directors who do fly over, and then you can interact in a social environment, because the film community is an international community. And although I live in Europe, I do feel like a majority probably of my friendship sets is in the US. And then this is an opportunity for those people physically to meet up, because we do so much virtually now.
Now, you worked for medical VR in its early days. How did you get into that space?
Yeah, I've always been involved. I do film tech. That's what I've always done. I was making some films and I was making websites. And in the very early days of the web, I actually worked for a company that delivered files for news. And I built a very early web QuickTime preview system for files on the web, a dial-up, very, very, very early. So I've always involved in technology and film. So I started exploring a long time, probably 6-7 years ago now, a long time ago, before WeAudition became my full-time job. I started experimenting in different ways. And I thought, to look around, to do that 360 video would be very special. And there wasn't really any examples of it. It was photographs. So I started 3D printing up a rig and getting GoPro cameras, because I had a few of those and I bought a few more. And so I started doing that as a hobby, really, just to pique my interest and keep my interest in the technology. And there was no real reason. And I made a short film, actually, shortly after that, in 360, using Matt Postlethwaite, who will be in Cannes, actually, with us. And he's doing
this new reality you're talking about?
Yes, a long time ago. Now, I posted this over 5 years ago now. If I made it today, I'd make it in a completely different way. But this was very, very cutting edge when we made it in 360. And so as a result of doing that, I just was very interested, and lots of people asked me if they could do things for operations and for medical training. And we actually did a lot of these all around the country, just medical training, simulating. We did simulation of heart attacks. We did simulation of lung things where someone could have an operation, or they would be the person going through a procedure, so they'd know what would be happening and what the symptoms were. And it was all about transferring the consciousness. And that's what we do in film all the time. In fact, when you make a film, what you try to do is bring people into the universe, to make people believe and to lose that sense of self in a way, and you're the protagonist on that hero's journey or whatever you are. So that was the next step in it, really, to be immersed in this immersive video. No, so I started doing that really for the technology thrill, and then it evolved into a bit of a job. And unfortunately, fortunately, WeAudition has taken over, and that is, I haven't got the bandwidth to do that anymore.
You're passionate about building online communities and platforms, which we can see obviously from WeAudition. What impact will this sort of thing have on the metaverse? I see the metaverse as the collective term, really, for all of the communities where people can, I said share consciousness, I think that is it, share community, be able to chat. In fact, now I see what we're doing now. You know, we are meeting virtually right now. Hopefully in a few days' time, we'll meet in person again, which will be fantastic. But from my point of view, as meeting someone, you can do it digitally. And the metaverse, I think, collectively is encompassing all of those areas. They don't join up at the moment, but I see those communities joining up at some point, and then the collective thing being the metaverse, which isn't owned by anyone. It's just the ability to interact through any device in any way. So I can see that our community and the ability to cast films and find the best person for a performance, a film, will be done through other ways other than on a screen in future. So I think it will plug into that. Maybe that will be a teleportation where you'll be in a room with someone else and you'll both be there, or maybe it will be that you put on a headset, or they do. I don't know, but that's the beauty of it. But certainly, from our point of view, that human connection is very important. That consciousness. I say human. I don't think it has to be human, but that conscious connection with another being or another person is part of what we do in our creative field, in our acting, and in filmmaking. And I think the metaverse will be a platform, or you'll have a platform as part of the metaverse that you will be doing the same work.
And I don't think we're going to lose actors. I don't think we're going to lose performance or creativity. I think we'll just be encompassed in.
It sounds like there's more for them to do, to be honest.
Well, maybe we've seen that with animation, actually. A lot of people work in animation because that voice is very, very important in performance.
Now, with your experience in VR and building new realities, what are your predictions for the metaverse going forward? What do you think is on the horizon?
I think we've got to see joined up, with things joining up. And I don't know how yet, but you know, when you go to the cinema, you go as friends, but then you sort of sit there and then you disappear into the film, and then you come out, oh, we're back in the film. I think we've all had that. Also, when you do some really good work, there's a thing called flow. Psychologist Mihai Csikszentmihalyi talks about flow and the ability of going to a different human state. You transfer your consciousness into your work. And then, whoa, have you ever had that thing where you go, whoa, where did that last hour go? Or where did that last 2 hours go? I think we'll see that. And
I often say, well, I wish that last hour had gone faster.
It depends, you know,
sometimes, not always.
Sometimes if you're working in something and you're just completely embodied in that, we get it as actors sometimes, very rare, but that is the moment that you're really searching for as an actor, that when you just leave your body and you're in someone else, you're in a different world. Actors say they get it on stage because they're in that world on stage and they flowed into it through a period of time. I think when we see the ability to enter a world where we could say, go to meet our friends before the movie, if it was a movie you're going to see or a game, you could collectively go into that arena or that game or that movie, whatever it might be in the future, and then you were still in a sort of collective consciousness. That, I think, is where it's going, whereby you could transfer from one medium to another while still being in a second place, a second community. I think that's where it's going. I'd like to see that. Everyone talks about Ready Player One and these sort of environments where you plug in and then you're there. I don't think it'll be one thing, one game. I hope you'll be able to transfer from a game to a movie or whatever, a chat, chess, and all of these places have these other things, don't they, where you can interact. But the key to it is that interaction, that community, and that human, I say that consciousness, actually, connection, I think. So I don't know. I mean, what do you think? Do you think we know where we're going yet? Do you think there's a defined path yet?
Goodness me, I think with all the wonderful conversations I've been lucky to have, I could probably write a book on all the different ideas, but it's just no one's got a clue as to where this is going to end up. But it's very exciting, isn't it? It's really
very exciting. And I think there's definitely a place for creative people to be part of that. And I think it's a very exciting time for creative people. So it's not narrowing opportunity. I think it's potentially expanding creative possibilities, which is wonderful.
Absolutely. Now, so what's next for you apart from Cannes, Richard?
I think after Cannes, life ends. There's nothing. No, we've got some big things. We've spent a lot of time and effort making our iOS app. We're intending to do an Android version of that as well. A lot of our people from our stats were on iOS, so we went there first. We keep getting asked for Android app. We've got lots of improvements to be made with our casting side. We've got a multi-chat coming up where people can hang out. Oh, in acting, we have a green room. So I can announce this. This is an announcement. We have got a new feature called the Green Room where members of our community can just hang out. And at the moment, people have to book each other and they do one-on-one training or coaching or advice. We're going to start having multi-chat. So we're going to start having just a place where people can hang out casually throughout the day or drop in or ask questions. That's going to be our next technical innovation. We're announcing that here. This is the first time I've mentioned it. And we've got some other technical things that we're doing as well, which are really exciting on the site, and improving things and supporting new devices. And it's an exciting time. Yeah,
it all sounds very cool. I look forward to seeing it. And I wish you all the best in Cannes. I'm sure you'll have a great time.
Thank you so much. It's been fantastic. Thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure. You've been listening to Metaverse with me, Francis Hellier. Thank you so much to my guest, Richard Cambridge, for a great conversation. Tweet us at MetaversePod with any suggestions or feedback. And if you enjoyed the podcast, please do share a link on social media. You can sign up to receive a new email when a new episode drops at our website, metaverse.fm.